Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in. It is your man, the one, the only, Solon's number one edutainer, Petty Murphy, here reporting to you live from the back of the classroom at Foundational Black America's number one source for edutainment, Akata News Network. Well, that being said, today, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have a pretty interesting one for you tonight. Well, as you know, our normal field reporter, Nap Turner, after recent events of finding out that ICE was 50% Hispanic and 20% black, and only 1.65% of that was actually black or African American, so long, which means migrants are hunting migrants. But I digress, because here we're as petty can be. But what we're going to do today now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to share some raw footage straight from the field when Nap Turner goes out and does his investigative journalism in its purity uncut format. And we're going to show you exactly what happens. We're going to introduce you to Mr. Jose Labraca. Mr. Does the Colombian even know she's Hispanic? The bigotry's killing me inside. Well, we're going to introduce you to his assistant, Beth Cooper, as well as Rusk's own resident liar, Debra Newman, and John Sallyboy Salvatore and Jennifer G.E.I. Jenny, as we show you how they are in their natural element. And with that, we say, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news.
Hey, why didn't someone cover you?
You asking me? I sent it on Friday. I don't know if they forgot or what's going on, but the email is there.
And what's funny is how they didn't. She sent the email. I didn't know. Something told me to check my email. Friday.
You didn't know that they sent you that email? And this my thing is, y'all send the emails in the most unopportune time when you know we're running around looking. That's there. So how do you expect us to see that? And then I'm not looking at emails from y'all because I'm trying to keep the emails down for the patients and the appointments that y'all sending back there.
They know what they're doing.
I said, okay, well I'm glad Monty be on it because he saw it.
Nice to see you. Hi,
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
I'm Beth Cooper. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Miss Beth Antonia. How are you? Good morning, everybody. I do apologize for being a little late. We have to get the live back. Sorry.
Okay, so we can start. So anyway, we're here to discuss Hamadi. You had some email responses, and we just want to reiterate and just review some of the content. I think we'll just start with one. You had made a comment in there about crazy.
It's not a comment I made. I repeated something that was said in the meeting. Y'all forgot what happened in that meeting?
Why didn't you tell me if I wasn't at the
Well,
meeting?
they can tell you. I mean,
Well, I think
you wrote it. We'd like you to.
Yeah.
we had a meeting one day with us and another staff member. Well, actually, it was a rehab attendant meeting. So during the meeting, we were talking about things that are going on the floor that have been constantly going on the floor since we've been here. And they thought me and another person, because we were having an exchange of words, that we have an issue with each other. There's no issue with each other. We've been working together since we've been here. So after that meeting, they held us back. They were explaining how they perceive things. We were explaining how we perceive things. He started speaking to me about what was going on and how things appeared to him. And he made a statement on how he perceived things. And that's what I've been trying to explain to them this whole time. That
He meaning?
you know exactly who.
Well, I don't. So that's.
Well, she can tell you that, because see, I'm going to be honest with you right now. What it feels like you're trying to do is use this to go at another coworker. I'm not going to do that.
What?
Because I'm here for what I've been dealing with that I can prove.
So
If you want to deal with that with him, you guys can take that on with him.
Well, so let's just back up a second. So I was invited here today because I work in HR and employee relations, and
Yes, ma'am.
Jose's out this week. Labarca. So basically, anytime there's an allegation, right? This is just allegation, and what we're trying to do is find the facts. find out what happened. So anytime there's an allegation that someone may have made a comment about a protected class, especially when the department receives it in writing, there needs to be further discussion about it. So today is really to discuss about it. So I don't have all the facts. I just saw an email, so if you could tell me at least a little bit about like what happened with the other coworkers, when it happened, if you're repeating it, like, because we want to ensure that the workplace, you know, we have disagreements and maybe how things are happening or different rules, and that's why we have a discussion, but there's certain comments that just are not appropriate that we have to address. So that's why I just wanted to find out, and that's why.
So I'll be honest with you, before I do that, you can either speak with him directly, but before I make a statement on that, I want to consult with my attorney first.
Your attorney?
Yes, my attorney.
Not your union delegate?
No, not my union delegate, my attorney first.
Well, I mean, we're here today to talk about what has
That's
happened.
fine.
I mean, you have an obligation to participate in today's conversation. If you want to take a few moments to speak to your delegate outside, we'll allow that, but we really would like to proceed with the conversation today, or at least get more information about what had happened. Because
That's fine. I have everything documented. But like I say, as far as that, because my issue is what's been going on. And when I come to them and try to have a conversation with them, and my delegate can attest to this, every time I try to have a conversation, I'm told now is not the right time. She's requested meetings, never got a response.
So why don't we go back and talk about what's been going on, and then we'll kind of lead into the conversation that was documented. So why don't you start from the beginning, and then this will all give the opportunity for the department to address it.
Well, we've met before.
Right.
Correct?
Yep.
Exactly. So
It was
you
probably about a year ago.
So you heard some of the audio.
Right, but what has happened in the last year? Because
We
I
came
have
back.
not been involved.
So after that,
Because I thought we left it in a good place.
well, after the resolution, I just got back to work. Things were quiet for a little bit, but then they picked up again. Now,
What do you mean by picked up?
the little nitpicking and harassment started back, basically.
Is it harassment, or is it really instructions about guidance about work? Right, because the supervisor is always going to have comments about
You're
employees
right.
doing their work, right?
Can you do me a favor, please? Can you tell them what the witnesses have told you?
Well, I would rather hear from you first.
Well, because I've said that,
Okay.
and I've said it in email. That's how it appears to me.
Okay.
And the thing is that the people around me are saying the same thing. So I know it's not just me in my own head, in my own echo chamber. And this is why I started doing the things that I was doing, because I never wanted to come to this, because I was trying to talk to people, because some of us actually had past relationships. And I came to them for that reason, because I didn't want to go to this. And every time I tried to have a conversation, no matter how I had it, it was the wrong time, or I wasn't saying it right. Whether I said it calmly, whether I was angry and upset because I was bothered by what's going on. But now, I'm just over it. I come in here, I do my job. There's nothing anyone can say about my work performance, and no one can ever say ever that they've ever asked me to do something and I've told them no. But we know for a fact that other staff members do it, and I've documented it myself. You can ask Eugene what happened to him last week. And these are the things that I'm talking about when I try to explain to them that for whatever reason you're not seeing what's going on, but I'm trying to talk to you. But I'm not going to continue to deal with it, and no one's listening to me. And I've went through the route that I've going through. I went to HR twice. The first time nothing happened. The second time Jose got involved. And here we are again. And I'm just not going to, I don't have to deal with it. I don't. Especially when it's just not right. And when people are saying the same things that I'm saying and no one's listening, I don't honestly know what else to do. But like I said, you've heard the audio. I have more.
I guess I'm trying to like move forward from what has happened, I guess the last, let's say 2 months. Because I can go all the way back, you know, even you said we were in a good place and like things have kind of changed. So what's been going on in the last 2 months?
Oh, so I can give you one instance that people saw. One day we were on the floor, and me and Elliot were on the south side.
Elliot?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about
another rehab attendant?
Yes.
Okay.
It was about maybe 9:30 in the morning. John comes out, starts cleaning tables, and you know, the way that it appeared to me, because he's snatching off the paper. He comes over and he throws it in, slams the garbage down, and he looks at us. So Elliot and I look at each other, and in the moment I don't say anything. So when he walks away, I'm like, yo, did that seem a little off to you? And Elliot was just shook his head, and he was just like, man, let's just go back to work. But then one of the therapists was sitting right there and said, yeah, it seemed off to me. I saw it as well. So I mentioned this to John. We had a meeting in the back, and he said, you know, if people feel in the way, they can come talk to me. When the thing with Fiona happened that I sent the email about, and I asked, because the last time I was told I was doing something wrong, they immediately sent me in writing policy, procedure, protocol, you know, 4.6, whatever the policy is, and how I was not adhering to my job. And even in that was when I was in a meeting with them. They just didn't notify the management team that I was in a meeting with them and Jose. That's not my responsibility. But that became an issue. So this time I was asking for the same thing, because when Fiona approached me, because I was seen after work, after the end of my shift, about 5:05, saying bye to one of the intake staff, that I was not supposed to speak to anyone in intake staff before, during, or after my shift. So I said, okay, that's fine. If you want me to do that, just please provide me with the policy and procedure in writing from NYU Employee Handbook, as well as the 1199 SEIU contract. That's all I'm asking for, as well as a list of individuals that I am able to or not able to speak with during, before, and after my shift, so I can make sure that I adhere to my job and that there's no room for error. I sent that email. A week later, no response. I sent a follow-up. A week later, I sent no response. Then I spoke to Tonya. I said, I'm going to send a follow-up email, to which Tonya let Fiona know that, you know, I'm going to send a follow-up email. Could you please reply, at least let him know something, so that he can do his job. He feels like he's being ignored. So that was a courtesy, because, you know, she was going to go to the union after that. We didn't have to do that, but she did it as a courtesy. So come in, we have a reply to the email, but it really didn't say anything. Just that, you know, we understand, we respectfully, decline or disagree with your assertion or accusations of harassment.
I'm sorry, say that again?
That they respectfully disagreed with my allegations of harassment.
Oh,
that's what was in the email, yeah.
Okay.
So I said I understood that. I said, but what I was asking for, was it in the email, and could I please get that? And that was last Monday, and now we're here. So when that happened with Fiona, when she was out after my shift, the staff was sitting there watching her come out and watch me and pace in the lobby. And then they said to me right after that, like, why are they always following you around? When you come out and bring the tablets, someone always comes out and asks, is everything okay? But they don't do it to anyone else. Now, I'm not saying this. This is what the staff is saying. Now, they have spoken to my delegate and said that they were willing to actually make written statements as well. She can tell you what they said to her. But I'm telling you what my experience was and is. And at this point, I don't know what else to do, because when I try to talk to them, it doesn't work. And from the conversation I had with Jose, I know that people are upset, but what no one's asking themselves is, why did I have to go to the lengths that I had to go to prove what was happening? Because nobody was listening. And I was being gaslit. Elliot sat there and watched it in that room when he had those meetings with us, and he said that to you guys, but nobody ever listened. So I had to figure out how I could get myself out of this situation without losing my mind. So I started reading, and I started studying, and I got me a Black's Law book, and I learned how to read law verbiage, and I started studying the law, and then I found out. So I understand people might not like what I did, because to them it might not be ethically moral, but legally I had to do what I had to do.
So there was a lot there. I'll give the department a chance to respond, but I do want to go back to the email, but I'll let the department, if they want to add anything, and then we'll go back to it, if that's okay. I don't know if there's anything you want to mention or discuss about emails or conversation.
No, I mean, I think the response was in writing in terms of what happened out front. You know, the intake manager specifically asked that none of the staff not just rehab attendants, but even the PTs, that nobody come out front because it was distracting the staff from doing their job. It was changing the workflow. So the messaging was to everyone that no one was to come out front to have personal conversations with the staff and distract them. Nothing about if you had to come out and talk about a patient, but it was about if you were having personal conversations.
So,
And that is what Fiona pointed out on those 2 occasions, that you were out front having personal conversations. One was after your work shift had ended, and you were playing music.
playing music on what? My headphones might have been on, but like with a loudspeaker, no, but I'm not playing
I guess you were
music.
able to hear music. So whatever it was after your shift, you were out there having a personal conversation. And this was interrupting their work. They have work to do.
Okay.
And that's all it was about.
So
Okay.
let me just understand. So the email about the protocol went to everybody who works in the staff?
The email about the protocol went out to when we had a rehab attendant meeting, and it went out as rehab attendant minutes,
Okay.
and then we announced it also in a staff meeting,
Okay.
and those minutes went out to all the staff.
So it was talked about twice.
Correct.
Okay. To the rehab. Okay. So the comment that was made, because it sounds like they sent the communication out. I understand that you disagree with the circumstance of what Fiona said. So, but the comment that was in the email, you're saying another colleague said it. Because I just want to
Yes.
have an understanding of like why that was in writing, or like if you communicated that to others, and just trying to get an understanding. of
Because
that.
every time I try to explain to them, other staff have said things in their presence to them about how they perceive things. No one's still listening. No one.
And when you say they're not listening, it's because they won't meet with you, or because you don't see an action taken after you speak to them about it?
They continue to do what they're doing, so that's the only way I can perceive it.
But when you say what they're doing, are you talking about they're overseeing like the work functions for all the rehabs, or like specifying
they're-
certain things?
I would say this much. Maybe someone needs to question the staff about what they're seeing. Because it's more than that. But no one's taken my word for it, so maybe we should ask other people. I provided recordings last time. You yourself heard them. You even admitted in that meeting how you perceived what was written, because I say even in the emails how they try to create this narrative, like I was waving my laptop in the air and acting aggressive. But everyone that was there did not see that. But you even said when you read the email, that's how you perceived it.
Right, but what I guess I'm
But
trying
these
to
are the
figure
things that
out-
I'm trying to understand. There's a narrative that's trying to be set here and created, but nobody wants to address it. And everyone's seeing it and talking about it, but no one's asking anybody anything. And that's why I started taking snapshots of my reality, so that if anything ever really happened, I could prove it.
Now, are you talking about the other rehab attendants or other people who work on the floor?
Rehab attendants, therapists, intake staff.
I mean, and if you want to add anything, feel free to.
I was waiting. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, I have spoke to, well, in reference to the incident with him and Fiona, there was one intake staff who had come to me and said she felt a little uncomfortable. I'm not sure if that was before or after, but she said in the moment of the incident with Fiona, she said he had come out and he was greeting everyone or bringing out a tablet, I believe.
No, that's
Bringing
when I
out
was
a
leaving.
tablet.
I was leaving for the day. I was just
Is
saying
that
bye.
the same time when you
Yeah.
had to, because they did tell me that you were on the floor and you were talking to someone.
That's
and
when-
it was loud.
That's when they're talking about I was having a personal conversation. That's when I was bringing out the tablet.
Okay.
You
That
were
was
having
the.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because he confused me.
No, Debbie mentioned two separate instances.
Right.
So there's one incident with the tablet and one incident with
When
the
she said I
personal
was having,
conversation?
yes, one was after my shift. That's the one with Fiona.
But the people were still working though.
There was no patients in there, literally. And I walked by. I was just saying, y'all have a good evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And I was gonna step out because there was 3 people sitting up there. I was saying bye to everybody. She came out, And then that's when it started, and the concierge and everyone was watching it. After she did what she did, they made a statement, and I said, that's just how it is, and then I walked out. The other time she was talking about, that's when Jenny came out, and I was bringing the tablet out.
That time the intake member said it was a personal, non-work-related conversation.
And who was that?
I know her by face, I wouldn't be able to tell her name.
Well, I have right to rest of my accuser. Yeah, I remember I was talking. Oh, trust me, I have it. I know exactly what was said. I have it.
The conversation, that person was still on duty, but you were off when you were bringing the tablet out. Okay. I think
No. I brought the tablet out during my shift.
During your shift?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 2 separate occasions.
2 separate, okay.
Can you
just, do you mind if you have the dates? Because I just want to make sure I'm...
It's in the email.
It's in the email?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember it offhand, but it's in the email.
Okay, and this is the email you sent to the department? Okay, so let me...
Debbie listed the dates
Alright, let me...
in her first email response.
Okay. So this is... Okay. On May 10th and May 22nd. So it looks like on May 10th, right, you had a conversation during your work shift with an intake member with non-work related conversation. On 5/22, you were seen waiting in the area after your shift playing music and talking loudly to an intake member, and we just discussed this with you on 5/24. And then you responded with that. So when did Kenny allegedly make that comment?
It was in a meeting that we had. It was after it was a meeting that they held us back after one of the rehab attendant meetings.
But it was more than a year ago, the non-comments, or was it like in the last month?
Well over a month ago.
Okay. So basically, with these 2 incidents, you don't deny that they happened, but the fact that the department was addressing it with you versus others, is that my understanding? And I don't want to cut you off too, because I know you were speaking.
No.
Okay. So you feel that the department is unfairly enforcing the rules with you?
Ma'am, I have everything documented. I can show it to you in real time if you want to sit down and watch it.
I'm just trying to understand, because
Yes.
and like I can tell you where I'm coming from an HR point of view, right? And this is what I see on paper, and this is why we're having the conversation today. The department saw an issue, they addressed it, they had a meeting with you, they got your side of it. What we tell any department to do is to follow up in an email so it's documented, so everyone's on the same page. And then with the response that you send with those comments, which is why we have to address it and find more information about what it is, like, because
anytime they have an issue like that, though, they don't address it in email. They pull me to the side on the floor because they don't want to pull me in the office anymore, because they're scared I'm going to record because of the things that they do. So they have these conversations with me on the floor during my shift with my peers around and patients walking around. So I put it in email so that I can keep a documentation of what's going on, because no one ever does. And then when I put it in email, it takes me a week to get a response. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
So you're concerned. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just to address what you were talking about with me on the floor cleaning tables, I did bring you into a private room to discuss that.
On that one, yes, you did.
Yes. So, and I did explain to you that it was close to the half hour. Patients were going to be coming in. Beds weren't made.
John, there was one.
Just let him finish, because we're able to let him.
I was moving fast, trying to get it done. I had to get back into my office to do some work. And I came over, I opened the trash can, I threw it in, I threw the trash can down, so yes, it made a noise. It was not directed at you. I didn't look at you. As a matter of fact, I said, "Excuse me, guys," and I opened it up, put the trash in, the lid came down, and then I walked away. So, and then I said to you during the meeting, "I'm sorry if you perceived it that way, but that wasn't intended in any way for you. I was just moving fast, trying to get it done." But I wanted to bring that up as an example of bringing you into a room and talking to you about it and on the floor.
That was one time because of how far it went, because Elliot also came to you, John.
Yeah, I spoke to him too.
And that's not the first time that's happened. And again, other staff have seen it. This is why I came to you.
Nobody's ever come to me before about it.
No one wants. That's the thing. I'm going to tell you.
I spoke to Elliot too.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to tell you what's been said to me by the staff. No one trusts in the system because they've been watching what's been going on and how it's been handled, not just with me, but with other people in this institution. And they feel like 1199 doesn't do anything either. So they're like, until a third party actually comes in here, they don't want to say anything because they're scared of losing their careers. So at this point, because I know I can prove what's really happening, no matter how you're setting the narrative, I know I can prove it because I've got everything, and I mean everything. Until it stops, I'm going to keep doing what I have to do until someone comes in here, another third party, and starts looking at what's going on then. And I'll just give them everything that I have.
So why have any of the coworkers come to HR or
I just
spoke to Jose? Or
I literally just said why. They do not trust the system because they saw what happened and what continues to happen. And until a third party comes in here, that they feel confident that they can talk to a third party and still hold their anonymity and tell their truth, they're waiting. So until then, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
I'm just confused who that third party would be, because generally
It'd
that
probably
would
be the state.
The state for
At this
what?
New York State.
But what are they looking into? Because I'm not clear.
Well, if I've been documenting this,
Is it patient related?
no, this is staff related. This is what's going on, what we're talking about right now.
So anything staff related should really go to the union. If they don't trust the union, then they can go to...
I've done that already. And I sat with the union, and I was told by the vice president of 1199 that I was ruffling feathers on the upper echelons of both institutions, and I was going to open Pandora's box.
Well,
So I have that as well.
I mean, what I was just going to say was that if there are other issues or concerns, I mean, this is what HR does. We talk to the departments, we talk to the employees. We can, talk afterwards, but if the people can, call me directly while Jose is on vacation to hear about the other issues. Because, like, what I'm hearing right now is just the department addressing things that were not aligned with the protocol. And that, it sounds like we'll have to speak to Elliot about the comment, but if there are other people that were witnessed to it, which I don't think we have any people, and I don't know if you want to talk about your sense of what the staff has been telling you, so we can kind of just get a better sense of where we move forward.
Okay, so like I said, it was only one staff member I spoke to who was in intake, and then the incident with him and Fiona, he was telling me what was going on, and she happened to overhear him telling me what's going on, and she made the comment, yeah, because I was wondering what was going on too. So I asked her, what does she mean by that? And she said he came out and he was giving her the tablet, he went to stay something from her, and I guess Fiona stepped out the door and just kind of like stood there and was like kind of staring at them, and then she said she looked at him and was like, did we do something wrong? And he was like, no, this is what happens anytime I come out here. And then as I guess they finished whatever, he walked away, and she still stood there, and then she came over to ask the employee, was everything okay? And she was like, yeah, everything was fine. Like, he just brought the tablet out. And she said, anytime, Henry brings the tablet out, Elliot brings the tablet out. And I guess she hadn't seen that happen or that reaction when they bring it out, so I guess she kind of was wondering what was the interaction or why was there so much tension here, like, what was the purpose of her coming out and it's kind of standing, like, towering over them. So I was like, oh, okay. And I kind of put in a remote, and then he came to me again and said he wanted to send an email, and that he was still explaining that things weren't getting any better, and that he explained that he spoke to everyone. He was telling the management what was going on, how he felt about different things. He did show me the email. I then came to Fiona, and I told Fiona, I was like, okay, I'm just jumping in here now because Hamadi just came to me. He said he had sent the email to you all, and he didn't get a response, and it has been a week. Fiona did inform me that the reason that there wasn't a response was because you guys had to, I guess, get together, go over the email, and they wanted to make sure they sent the appropriate response to it, because there was some allegations and things in there, so that you all had to look into some stuff. I said, okay. I came back and I told Hamadi that, and Fiona told me that within the next 24 hours or so that there should be a follow-up email, and there was. And that was kind of where we left it, and then I was told that we had a meeting this morning, which I didn't know that we were going to have a meeting because of the follow-up email.
So I guess, I was really trying to figure out where we go from here. So, I'll have to look into the comments that were made in the email, just because that's something that we do in HR, that to find more about it. I'll work with the department about it. I don't know if the department wants to say anything about going forward, but I think the supervisors are going to manage. I'll discuss with them the incident with Fiona. It sounds like you did already, to ensure that it's a lot from what I'm hearing, and just the situation versus perception versus what is being done to others. And I'm not going to alter your perception because that's how you see it, but I know the department also has a role to do to ensure that care is given, things are followed, and so that's what we have to move forward today with it. Do you want to add anything with it? Okay. Do you want to add anything at this time?
No, I mean, at this point, I really have tried every avenue. And everything that goes on in the dark does come to the light. When I tell you I can prove to you what's happening, I can. And I will. So whatever happens, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Because I know I've got what I need.
Okay. I think we have the information that all we're going to get today. If there's anything after, you can always contact me.
I was going to see if I can have
Sure. Yeah.
Or do you have a call?
I don't have my cards anymore,
okay.
so I'll write down my contact.
And the same for me if you guys need anything at all.
I think you could figure out my
Yes,
email.
I can get
yes.
yes.
You can read that, right? I try to. My handwriting is neat Monday morning, and then
Yes.
that's about it.
Thank you. Maya, is there anything else you want to express, say?
No, I mean, like I say, you go down and ask the staff, do I do what I'm asked to do? Ain't no one can tell you I don't do my job or what's asked of me. They can't tell you I don't do my job or what's asked of me. They can't tell you I've ever given them any pushback when they've asked me to do anything. But we all know what happens on that floor, and the staff knows too. So that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Take care.
You see what they're doing? You see it though, right?
You can't take that elevator, don't stop me.
I know, but you see what they're doing. They're not going to address this issue. They're going to try to use it to try to get a kidney. And I'm not doing it.
Y'all still haven't sent nobody over here now. You said it.
And that's my, and as soon as I said it, what did she say? Well, what were the people? No, nobody want to talk to y'all because you're not doing nothing. Man, get out of my face, yo. Idiots. They think I'm stupid. And they don't understand, like, you know what, let me shut up.
You keep saying that people are gonna come.
The union ain't can't get nobody coming. That's why I said what I said. I'm gonna get the fucking state involved.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Plantation Studio here with your man about town, the one and only Petty Murphy here at Akata News Network. We hope you enjoyed that raw footage and giving you a glimpse into what really happens when people don't understand that you just might be on candid camera. See, the problem is that these people think that they're smarter than everyone else around them and they can treat people like shit. There'll be no consequences or repercussions. The only problem is that sometimes they don't know that people are just tired of their shit, and someone, even though they may not have the time or resources to invest in a piece of paper that clearly states that you don't know a fucking thing, would be able to help think you and end up handing you your ass in the long run. Calm down, Petty, calm down. There's no need to go that far. Their actions have already proven that they're inept, morally corrupt, all around liars, and Jezebels of the truth. Calm down, Petty, calm down. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will bid you adieu. And Debra Newman, we'll see you soon, because I'm not done being petty yet. And it is your man, the one, the only, Petty Murphy, here reporting to you live from the back of the classroom at Akata News Network. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will definitely bid you adieu. You stay wonderful out there, stay beautiful, and learn to keep these demons and these liars in check.